Hello and welcome to the RageOnes podcast today. This is episode 1. Today we'll be discussing the recent E3 events along with the new games coming out for this year and the next year. I'm your host Brandon, alongside with me Alex. And let's dive on into our first topic, Halo Infinite. So Halo Infinite, what do you think how the game is going to be since the multiplayer is separate from the base of the game?
Um, well, personally, I think the way they're doing it is fine. I think free to play is the way they should go for the multiplayer, and I feel like only the people that really want to experience Halo should purchase the campaign or the story mode, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do both. But I think the approach to free to play is fine, especially with the battle pass, because that's what everyone's doing nowadays. That works real well. And it looks like it's going back to their natural Halo roots, so shouldn't be like Halo 5 Guardians or Halo 4. It should be more like Reach, which looks pretty fine. That was a good one. So it's all positive from my viewpoint. I'm actually very excited for it. Cannot wait to hit it. Let alone try out the multiplayer beta.
Yeah, the thing I really like about Infinite already is that they're gonna be sticking with one battle pass only, and by the looks of it, you just gotta purchase it once, and every season it'll just change on to the next like ranking system. And the cool thing is, all the cosmetics in the game will be acquired
Yep.
free. You don't have to really purchase for
Yep.
them. That's what I really like. Hopefully they give us weapon skins. I would like to put the assault rifle with maybe like some cool electric feeling or like the USMC logo
They
all
can bring
over
back
it.
the pizza skin from Halo
The
5. They can do that. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really great. The the thing that is kind of a little ticking me only is how many maps does it get released on day one. And with that being said, if the maps have enough content within the map to keep the game active, obviously, there's gonna be the capture the flag mode, the most like played one ever, Slayer. There'll also be, hopefully, they'll actually add the zombie type mode that they used to have, where the one player would start off with an energy sword, and like 24 other players would be with a shotgun running around.
No, I hear you.
And yeah, those are looking really, really good. And hopefully, just the multiplayer lives up to it. Hopefully, it doesn't die down with the player count later on. Hopefully, this can be like when Halo Infinite ends, the story, they can just work on this Halo and continue this Halo for years to come. They don't have to make another Halo. They have to make more production into that. They could just focus all that into that, kind of like
Yeah.
Warzone in a way, where Warzone is now a standalone like Call of Duty title that's like free to play. And speaking of a Warzone type game battle royale, I'm actually really happy they're not introducing a battle royale aspect
Weren't they
into this
weren't they
game.
talking about it?
I think Halo they were talking about, but I think during E3 they said there will not be a battle royale at start, but maybe down the line there will be. But I prefer the generic old multiplayer aspect how they always had. And they said in there was like a 12-minute multiplayer detail video where they talked about trying to go back to the roots and trying to make it like really like boots on ground, almost like they said Halo Reach, Halo 3 mix multiplayer was the new stuff that they're adding from the story. And moving over to the other topic, the story, right? How do you picture the story will end?
Oh boy. I mean, you can think of a lot of things. Like, there's plenty of things you can think of. I think the way that it should end, or how I think it would end, is either with Master Chief dying, or him retiring, because he's old. He's already showing his age. Not really. He's still kicking ass at his age, but he's getting there. And I think at this point, I think they should just. I think they should just end it, and then work on spin-offs like they did with ODST. I think that would be a nice way to continue the Halo storyline. Because if they do that, they have options to make many stories and new experiences in the Halo universe.
Now, the one thing I hope I see in Halo Infinite, the main story now, is I hope they add. We know it's gonna be an open world
Yeah,
game. We know
yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of stuff to do. I just hope there's a town or somewhat command bases spread out throughout the map. We could go in, upgrade your gun, go from like damage level 1 to like 5. Maybe add attachments to your gun, make your Spartan armor a little bit stronger. Because maybe you start off with your Spartan armor like maybe level 1, and then like towards the mid game you're at 5, and the last you're at 10. And down the line, you can also like get like these challenges done. You know, like these little towers that can unlock the world as you go on. Almost kind of uh, like Breath of the Wild, where you unlock towers and spread out more of the map, and like the shrines. Or we could do like command posts, like outposts from enemies that can use for like little teleportation. Well, obviously they're gonna have pelicans to fly, or the normal gyrocopter
Yeah, that's all I'm
looking
waiting for.
flying machines. You know, that looks really good. And the thing how I can see the game ending is obviously Chief has to die. I'm seeing him either dying and they show a new generation of these like Marines coming out. Maybe like they'll jump 20 years later and they'll show like these new Marines coming out. Or a sweet way of Halo ending is he becomes Commander Chief. It's the Master Chief, Commander Chief, and we finally get to see who's under the green helmet for all these years, and it'll be very, very wild. The one aspect how I hope for Halo is the game is when you beat the game, you can obviously go back
Yeah,
and free
that's
roam.
what I'm hoping for too.
Uh, yeah, I hope it's not. Once you beat it, there's gonna be like that last checkpoint. Like before you go here, this is your last time to save, or you won't be able to come back until you beat the boss. And then when you go back to free roaming, you gotta go back from your last save. And then like if you want to beat the game again, you just do that. Or they could do a God of War type. Now previously, I never played God of War. I know you have. And can you tell me how after you beat God of War, I know there was a lot of things to do. Like it didn't have the full aspect free roaming world, but had like a singular point of free roaming where it wasn't like open, but it was like really like
Yeah.
linear. How did you do that in God of War?
From if I can remember, it works like how Bioshock has it, where it's like it's not fully open world, but I guess it's semi-open world, where like you have a hub world, and then in that hub world you can choose the different realms to go to. I think you can go back and complete things you didn't finish, like certain chests. I think you can do the Valkyries. I was trying to do the Valkyries before I gave up and cried. Um, but when it comes to that, it was almost like they still gave you full access to going everywhere and how you felt or what you did in the game. There was no restrictions, but if it came down to it, I would like them to do it for Halo Infinite. But realistically, looking at it, I think once you complete the game, you complete the game. Unless they do a new game plus, and then you can carry over the stuff you have if they even do like an element like that. I'm not too sure, but
Mm-hmm.
here's hoping that they would do that. That'd be super cool to just explore the Halo ring after you beat the game.
All right, so final thoughts on Halo Infinite. Is this gonna be a day one purchase for you? Are you gonna be like right then and there, right when the game is available to download? Are you gonna be right there to download
Depending on
it?
my circumstances, I'd like to. Definitely, it's going to be a day one purchase for me. I love Halo. I've always loved Halo. It's one of my personal games that I keep close to me. And I'm really excited for this installation of it. I really cannot wait for it. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
And the multiplayer, you think you're gonna devote more time into that multiplayer than any other multiplayer that's coming
Probably
out?
not. Me and like multiplayer games don't really get along a lot, but I think I'll probably give it a chance because I mean, if it's like Reach, then why the hell not? We'll go for it. Um, But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna put more of my time into the single player, and then when I'm ready and I feel comfortable, then I'll tackle the multiplayer, and then I'll put my hours into the multiplayer for sure.
Okay, cool. So, funny enough, going into our next topic that has to deal with multiplayer, a new Battlefield coming out with no story, no battle royale, just strict multiplayer. Was it 64 players versus 64
Yeah,
players,
I
and
think so.
like these like huge maps where there's tornadoes, sandstorms, anything can go. Um, what do you think of the upcoming Battlefield
That
game?
looks good too. I'm excited for that one. I think the idea of them adding AI into the multiplayer is gonna be very interesting. It's almost gonna be like if they do it like Titanfall 2's attrition, that would be something. But depending on what they do, it could be different. I think that the multiplayer is going to succeed even without a campaign. I think Battlefield 2042, it's 2041. I think it's 2041. Battlefield 2041 is going to do very well, regardless of no story mode or battle royale. It's Battlefield. I mean, who the hell doesn't like Battlefield?
Yeah. Yeah, 2042, just to be correction. Yeah, so Battlefield 2042. $60 game. Uh, just for multiplayer itself, I would rather see how it goes at launch because within the last year we have so many flops of Cyberpunk. Literally one like the most anticipated game of the decade. Absolutely just terrible right out of the gate. And a lot of people sadly pre-ordered that game at first. There was over like almost a million pre-orders, maybe even more. And the game just came out and it was just complete dookie. And they pushed it back several times, maybe even almost 10 times if I can recall. That's how I just feel for Battlefield. Obviously, they don't have to worry about a story mode. They just have to worry about the
Yeah,
multiplayer. They got to worry about patches. They got to worry about the balance of the guns. You know, the AN-94, that gun can have like 120 damage every time, and then the sniper can only have like 90. And then it shows assault rifles are stronger than the sniper rifles. No, the one thing I like that I'm already seeing in Battlefield 2042 is the customization right on the spot. In the trailer, you see the guy reloading in the elevator, and I know where he just equips a scope as
yeah.
a silencer and adds like a drum mag to it. I at first I did not like that, but after witnessing it and seeing it, I could easily dig that. It's almost kind of like Modern Warfare, where they introduce where you can pause the game and customize your class, but this doesn't require pausing. It just requires you to take 3 seconds away from looking ahead of you and looking to like the bottom right of your screen to make sure you're adding like the right scope or whatnot to your gun. And that's another thing, guns in this game. Do you think there'll be a very limited amount of guns at first, or do you think there'll be like 60 guns for assault rifle, 30 for submachine, like a huge list?
I'm personally hoping they go like the Battlefield 4 route, where they have like a bunch of guns at start. Um, I like guns a lot. I think they're really cool. They're like a work of art. So I'm hoping that they do it. I don't see why not. I know it's set in the future, but they can like I saw the Vector in the trailer, uh, a bolt action rifle or a bolt action sniper rifle, I should say. I'm not too sure what I can call it, but they had some modern guns, just kind of like a futuristic hype to them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping at launch they have at least maybe I think 35, 40. Would that be too much? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a healthy amount.
Uh, I don't think that'll be too much. My worry at first is I don't like when they incorporate like laser guns into like a modern day almost futuristic setting, like Infinite Warfare to be example, right? They had laser and regular bullet guns. You know, the old Call of Duty from like 2016. I didn't like that. They should just chose between just having laser guns or just the regular bullet impact guns. So hopefully we don't see that. Another thing with Battlefield. In the trailer, it shows a rocket getting launched off. I don't know. Do you
Yeah,
recall
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
that in the trailer? Yeah. Are they hinting that we're gonna go to space and maybe fight on like a space station? Because if that rocket takes off, what happens if that rocket's taken off from Earth, right? And say Earth is about to blow up, and they like as many people could get on the rocket into space. I'm just spitting, just ideas here. Obviously, I don't think it'll happen. I think it's going to stay all on Earth. I'm happy to see that they added the idea now where back in the previous Battlefield games, your tanks would just appear in the back. Now you like call them in, and the giant Osprey or a giant plane above will drop
Hmm.
them down and like a parachute and land on the ground. I really dig that like realism military style where they call them for restocking or resupplying. What do you think of the weather effects of the game? You know, the tornadoes, the sandstorms.
I think they're really cool. The Sandstorm one, I want to see how it works compared to Battlefield Hardline. When Battlefield Hardline had their Sandstorm, it was more like a visual bother. It kind of like disturbed you. Like you were still able to see sniper glints and stuff, so it didn't really work. So I want to see how the Sandstorm works in the new Battlefield, if it'll affect the map too, because I noticed in some parts of the trailer there, like the city was covered in like sand. So I'd like to see if the
Mm-hmm.
sandstorm will affect the way the map routes work. It changes the works for vehicles. Foot soldiers would have to change their strategies now. Tornado looks really cool. I'm excited for that. I want to see the destruction level. I'd like to see what that bad boy does. I also want to drive a tank into the tornado and see where that goes to. I want to try that out. That seems fun.
So we don't call ourselves the RageOnes podcast for nothing. If you can recall your most raging moment throughout all Battlefield history, like the raging of you're trying to attain this new gun and you're like one triple kill away, can you like remember the most raging you've ever had in any of the
Yeah.
Battlefield games?
It was for Battlefield One. It was an assignment. I forgot for what gun. I really did. But I had to get like 5 kills in a match or something, or was it 15? I really don't remember. It was the most easiest task, no problem. But for some reason, I just was having the worst luck. Like I could not get the 5 kills or the 15. I think it was 15. I just couldn't do it, dude. Like I was just having the hard time. I think I went to you to go. I think I went to your house at that time. I was like, "Yo, dude, can you help me beat this shit?" And then you did it in the first try. And I think at that point, I really wanted to cry. I wanted to give up on life because I tried like for an hour and a half and I couldn't do it. And your first try, you got it. I was like, "What the fuck ever."
um, if I can remember my raging moment, I think it was during Battlefield 4, and I was working for a certain assault rifle, and I remember I couldn't do it, and I want to say it was probably get like 5 headshots without dying in a life, almost something along the ways like that. And it took me forever to get it to the point where I was gripping the controller and almost breaking it between my knee. Where I calmed down, I looked at the Battlefield store and I looked at the assault rifle shortcut for $10, and I was like, I think I just gotta take the easy way out. So I spent the $10 and got the if I remember, it was like the TAR 21, something down the line like that, where it looked like the UTAR or the TAR from almost like Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, okay, so going on to the next topic, almost kind of like how I just brought up just now, Modern Warfare 2. Reports have been coming in that Modern Warfare 2 will be the Call of Duty of this year being remastered. Personally, I think Call of Duty should skip this year. Battlefield coming out, Halo Infinite multiplayer coming out, being free to play, along with they could just almost update Warzone. I personally think they should just make the game Call of Duty Zombies and focus on a 4 co-op zombie Call of Duty game or 8 co-op zombie Call of Duty game where they incorporate the old Call of Duty zombie maps into the newest game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Now,
That would be pretty cool.
now, now they can add this into Cold War, or they can push aside Cold War and make the Call of Duty Warzone but zombies in a way, you know, or where it's not necessarily free to play, where down the line you obviously probably have to buy the DLC packs for the upcoming ones. Maybe get 5 remastered or Mob of the Dead, our favorite one, remastered. But Call of Duty this year, I think it'd be a really bad thing to come out this year, especially when Battlefield is reportedly supposed to come out in October, and then Halo is coming out holiday time, which we usually call that around end of November to beginning
Hmm.
of December. Um, how, and there's another report of Call of Duty World War One or World War Two Vanguard, where they're going back in time. Obviously, not doing the modern day, almost near modern day meta. How the new Call of Duty coming out? How do you think it would do if it came out? How do you think it would do compared side with Battlefield being the left side and Halo being the other side? Almost kind of like a sandwich. How do you think Call of Duty can handle coming out at
I'll be
that
honest
time?
with you. I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty. The last one I played, I mean, I lied actually. I like the Black Ops series. The Black Ops series is really good. I'm not too sure what they're gonna do this year. If they are gonna do the remaster of Modern Warfare 2, I mean, the more power to them. Do what you got to do. They have to make money somehow. They're gonna buy it regardless. There's a bunch of Call of Duty heads that are gonna get it. I'm not worried about that. Rather they make Modern Warfare 2
Mm-hmm.
or the World War II one. I don't really believe because they just made a World War II one like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That one was okay. I like that one. That one was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to go back to World War
Yeah,
II,
yeah. This would be
what?
the
Yeah,
sequel. Yeah. No, this would be the sequel
that
coming
would be
up.
something interesting. I don't know if they would do that, but I mean, hey, if they did it, why not? I'd buy it. I think I like World War II. But right now, I think my pockets and what I'm looking for is Halo Infinite. So it's a pretty close tie. Definitely, it's gonna be between Battlefield or Halo. I don't think Call of Duty is gonna find its way at all for me. I'll probably just watch gameplay of it and make a final assumption. But I'm not too excited for Call
Mm-hmm.
of Duty this year. I don't think they should skip out. I just think they should bring whatever they're gonna bring, and then they should bring it hard to match up to what's ready on the table.
Well, if they do bring Modern Warfare 2 remastered, if they bring that, you're basically looking at the Modern Warfare one that came out in 2019. It's why would they go throughout the effort to make Modern Warfare 2 remastered when you can pretty much just bring the Modern Warfare 2 remastered stuff onto the old Modern Warfare game and incorporate that with the Cold War, kind of like do like a cross between where you can use the guns from Modern Warfare 2 and Cold War, or use the Modern Warfare 2 weapons in Modern Warfare 2019.
It's all business
Um,
practice. It's all standards. You know how it is.
yeah, but how they showed last year where Call of Duty at first, everybody was beyond hype. Oh, Call of Duty, this looks like going back to Black Ops 1 time. And then by December time, almost some of the player base went back to Modern Warfare because the Call of Duty grind for Cold War was like really, really bad. And the zombies were basically keeping that game elevated for the player base at the time. And with playing zombies, luckily on Cold War, you were able to transfer your data through. Like, you could work on your pistols and just play zombies the whole time, and you would unlock the skins for zombie, their attachments, get up to the highest level, which for, I don't know, pistols with 35. I don't know. You can literally play like hours of zombies and get it up just like that, just like how you would do in multiplayer. The, the story. Say they take the same route, just like they did with Black Ops 4. No story, no story, multiplayer, and zombies. Say the next Call of Duty is just multiplayer. How would you feel on that one?
I think that would suck. I feel like that's their chance to miss out. Because funny enough, Call of Duty does make good story modes. Like as much as I dog on Infinite Warfare and I think it's a shit game, Infinite Warfare had one of the best Call of Duty campaigns up to date. Like I'll stand by that fact till the day I die. World War II even had a great campaign too. That was very Medal of Honor like. That's at least to me was very Medal of Honor like. So I think their campaigns do
Mm.
matter. I'm kind of upset that Battlefield's not having a campaign. So I hope if Call of Duty does make a new game, they do it right. Whether it's Modern Warfare 2 remastered or not, they should add a campaign regardless. Because I mean the multiplayer is pretty cool and all, but I mean they take time to make story modes in shooter games. And half of the time they're good. Like Titanfall 2 is one of the best examples too of a perfect story mode in a shooter game.
And funny enough, how you were saying Infinite Warfare is the best story mode in your opinion, I gotta go with Ghost. Ghost gets so much shit on for its multiplayer and everything, but the cliffhanger at the end of Ghost was so good, where I think you catch the bad guy, and as soon as you catch him, he was laughing. I believe he set off the orbital nukes, and it just went into a cliffhanger mode. I would love to see Ghost 2. Sadly, I don't see that
Yeah,
coming out for a while because it looks like they're going to be focusing on Modern Warfare, the Black Ops series, and now since the third studios that usually do it was a Treyarch, Activision,
Sledgehammer.
then the Sledgehammer, yes, Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer will probably do the World War One setting universe where you get Modern Warfare, you get today, you get the modern day fighting, then you get Cold War, which was like the 80s and 70s, and then you get World War One, which was like the 30s and 40s, where you can jump between those three games and play if
Oh,
you get
okay.
bored.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool to do
The
that.
Yeah, um, the thing with Call of Duty this year, I still think in my mind they need to step back and just reprocess because supposedly we were supposed to hear something from Call of Duty already because usually around July time of right now or the end of June they kind of do teasing and we haven't seen anything from it. So maybe they're going quiet, maybe they're going ghosts. See
Yeah,
what
that
I
was a
did
good
there? They're
one.
going ghosts. Yeah. Well, yeah. Final thoughts. Yes or no? Do you want to see a Call of Duty this year?
Hell no. I could care less.
Yeah, did Battlefield and Halo right there. Those are the three golden boys right now. Okay, going on to the next topic I have written down is the next Borderlands game, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It looks like it's gonna be magic and basically gun running, just like Borderlands. It's gonna be Borderlands
Yeah,
with magic
yeah.
by the looks of it, and obviously the movie coming out, right? So we'll talk about the game first. Tiny Tina's Wonderland. How did you envision that's gonna be? Obviously, they said there's gonna be player customization. There's not gonna be the four standard ones you get to pick from. You get to customize your own character and build off of him from that. What do you what the best thing I should say is are you gonna see this game as a full flowing game or do you think it's gonna be kind of like a prequel, the pre-sequel I should say, where it's almost like DLC type, where you felt like there should have just been a DLC for Borderlands 3?
Um, this still takes place like what Borderlands 2, right? Because Tiny Teen is still young. So,
No, Tiny Tina's like teenager to almost like young
oh,
adult now.
I thought she was still a kid.
No, this is like Borderlands 3 settings where she's like almost
Oh well,
grown
I
up.
mean, I don't really know. I didn't play Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep when they came out. I never I think the only DLCs I beat for Borderlands 2 was like Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt. I did Scarlet's Big Booty, whatever the hell it was called, and then Captain Torque's Torqueathon, whatever the hell it was called. I never got a chance to play. I heard it was really good. Um, I heard it was really good DLC, and when this one coming out, I'm sure a lot of people are super excited for it. I'm only excited for it because I want it to do better than Borderlands 3. Like, I hope this game does so good that people shit on Borderlands 3 because I hope the story is better. Like, I hope they take their time with the characters and the story is understandable. It doesn't feel rushed. Like, I hope Tiny Tina's Wonderland is everything a Borderlands
Mm-hmm.
game, everything Borderlands 3 should have been. You got the loot aspect,
Mm.
you got the new engine, plus you got magic powers now. Apparently, that's going to be super cool. And I didn't know about customizing a character, but when you mentioned that, that's even cooler. Like creating your own. You're not a vault hunter, but you're a Borderlands character. You can make your own Borderlands character. I think that's super freaking cool.
Mm-hmm. Now let's go on a really strict rage mode. This is gonna be the rage moment of the week, right? Let's just take a few minutes to talk about how shitty of Borderlands 3 the ending was.
Okay.
Let's go on a huge dive in on how Borderlands 3 absolutely made it. I kid you not, Alex. When I beat the game, I was like, okay, cool. I skipped the credits, went back to the space station you were in. I think I went to the main menu. I exit to my computer screen. I right click on the game and I clicked uninstall. I sat there at my screen. I was like, wow, $60. Like the game itself is good. The story was just not good. The whole killing off, what was it, Maya? They killed off Maya and they killed off Lilith. Those were two strong characters, and it's just how it ended. Where I don't know if you remember, but at the end, she was like, "She is the
Yeah.
Firebird," and she just goes, and she goes right into the moon, and it goes, and that was it, or whatever she went into, the Vault Moon or the Vault Monster, whatever it was, and it just lit up like a giant phoenix in the sky. I mean, my reaction was truly disgusted on how I did not like
I
that at
was just
all.
kind of having a blank face,
If
man.
you could,
I kind of just I had an episode, dude. I really was. I just kind of and then they had the audacity to play "This Girl Is on Fire." I thought it was a fucking joke. I really thought it was a joke,
oh yes, they were like, "It's careless." Oh,
but they
fuck.
really did it.
Yes, I remember just sitting there. Yeah, I just sat there with like literally the like a blank face. I was like, I was like Patchy from SpongeBob. I was like, really?
Really?
Is this it? Yeah, I just sat there just staring at the screen, just hating every second of it. And then when I heard they were doing DLC, and was this the Borderlands game? Now I'm getting them as it was pre-sequel or this one. Is this where after the first DLC they scrapped the rest of the DLCs and they just only did the first DLC
For
and that was
what?
it?
Pre-sequel?
No, for Borderlands 3. They only did like one DLC
No,
and that was it.
they have oh my god. No, they have all of them. They have what was the first one? I'm trying.
Oh, I don't recall. Did they get well? Just to get to the point, they had all their DLCs
Yeah,
come out, right? They had like their initial
they even had a
schedule.
second season pass
Okay,
come out.
okay, cool. That at least the game started with that because you and me we grew up playing Borderlands 1. I think we 100% the game twice, and we know we 100% Borderlands 2. I mean, we used to play Borderlands 2 all the time. um, it truly was something else right there. If you can recall your favorite Borderlands moment from all the games, what was your
It was
favorite?
probably funny enough. It was playing Borderlands 3 with Dylan because I was excited for Borderlands 3. Dude, I was so excited for Borderlands 3. I went to Fortnite. I went to GameStop. I got like I think a PSN card just to buy the Borderlands 3 skin in Fortnite. I was that excited for Borderlands 3, and it was midnight release.
Go on.
And me and Dylan hopped on. We got into a party chat, and I think we played Borderlands 3 for like 7 hours. He didn't have to go to work. I didn't work at the time, and we just tackled it for 7 hours. And it was the best 7 hours of my life. And then afterwards, I played Borderlands 3, and I was like, "Fuck this game. Just fuck it."
Yeah, My favorite part of the whole Borderlands series is how Borderlands 2 ended and how pre-sequel took off, where it turns out Handsome Jack was technically the good guy this whole time. His philosophy was correct. Don't abuse the vault for what it is, but it turns out the Vault Hunters wanted to use the vault, if I recall, and that's how he got the stain of the vault on their head, and that's how Lilith and Roland tried to kill him, and that's where it leads up for him being the bad guy in Borderlands 2, where I gotta say, out of all gaming throughout life, the gaming villains, right there, Handsome Jack, top 5 best villains in the gaming history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd place him that
Uh,
high, but he's up there. He's up there definitely.
So, all right. So going on to the next topic that has to do with Borderlands movie.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Hart being Roland. With the few pictures I've seen of him, he looks pretty jacked. He looks good like Roland. The one thing that never made sense to me, Jack Black playing Claptrap. Why we know Claptrap's gonna be CGI'd. He they can't get the original voice actor just to play as him. And it's really weird. I would rather see Black Jack play as Marcus on the bus. I feel like that would have been a better role for him, and then just would have brought in the regular voice actor for Claptrap.
I think the
Uh,
Borderlands movie should not even come out at all. I think they should fucking scrap that piece of shit. If you want me to be real with you, I feel like it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a complete flop. I think the casting is ridiculous. I don't know. I just think it's a little too late. Like I know what's his name, Dave Bautista
mm-hmm.
was interested in not doing a Fast and the Furious movie, but he was interested in doing a Gears of War movie. A Gears of War movie could work nowadays because you can just do a movie on the Pendulum Wars. But I feel like the Borderlands movie is just way too late. Like I think at this point, the only people who are going to see it are Borderlands fans. I'm going to see it because I'm retarded. I'm going to go see it. I have to see it. I'm a Borderlands fan. But I'm probably going to walk out with
Mm-hmm.
either suicidal tendencies or I'm going to walk out, or I think I'm just going to not even walk out at all. I don't know. I'm hoping to see. I think it's going to do complete shit.
You're just gonna decay in your
Yeah,
chair right there. You're just gonna morph into the
I
chair.
might just die in there.
As soon, um, so the Borderlands movie, to be honest, when I heard about it, I thought they were gonna just do a
Yeah,
Netflix movie. I really thought it was just be a Netflix movie. I didn't realize they were gonna do a full movie. I heard they're doing a lot of filming throughout Europe. That's pretty interesting. For the movie itself, I think it's gonna be weird because I heard it's gonna be a different plot than how we expected. I think there's gonna be a new original character being put into the movie where Roland and Lilith will be not the main protagonist. It'll almost kind of be like how I'm picturing it is gonna be like Guardians of the Galaxy. Star Lord, Peter Quill, Chris Pratt. He's the main star. You got Dave Bautista, Groot, and everyone on the side. As like the sidekicks, right? I'm picturing Roland, Lilith, and I don't know if they're bringing Brick or Mordecai into it. I don't know how they're gonna be like put into it. I think they're just gonna be put as sidekicks, and the new original character guy that's gonna be put into it. Supposedly, who he is actually is from the Torque gun industry. He's one of the like gunmen there. He'll be the main character. So that was pretty cool. The movie itself, I can, you know what? I'll just pretend it never came out in my
it's
head.
gonna be an experience like Borderlands 3. I'm gonna be like, okay, this happened. I have to take it in.
Yeah,
I have to accept it, and then I can talk shit about it for the rest of my life.
yeah. All right. So going on to another one we have here, Far Cry 6. Obviously, I know you're very excited for that
Yes,
game.
hell yeah.
Uh, what is driving you for that hype? Like you point out keys that you've seen from the Far Cry 6 trailer and gameplay
I
trailer that
think
you've liked.
it's the main villain. I think he's super cool. I didn't watch him when he was in Breaking Bad, but I know of his work. I think he's a perfect. I feel like because right now when you mention Handsome Jack as like one of the top 10 villains or one of your top villains, I feel like Voss and the father, what was his name for Far Cry 5? Jacob. I feel like yeah,
Father Jacob,
Jacob
yeah.
was a really good villain. Like Far Cry 5 is a really good written story. One of my favorite games. And so I forget the actor's name who plays him, but I feel like he's gonna do a fantastic job as being the villain. And I feel like the area is pretty cool too. What is it, like in Havana, Cuba? I think is where it's at. Not Havana, but it's in Cuba somewhere. I think the setting,
Mm-hmm.
the guns, obviously the guns. There's a lot of guns in Far Cry 6. Um, there's an alligator you can pet. There's a puppy. There's a dog. I mean, who doesn't like dogs? The vehicles. I think the whole setting
Yeah,
is what it, like. I think it's gonna be Far Cry 5.2, which is what I'm excited for. It's just more Far Cry. It's just Far Cry at its finest.
yeah, and the one that you picked out that you liked the most is the what's it called, the Macarena gun, where it starts playing
Yeah,
the song in the background, and you're shooting like
yeah. I think that's gonna be
CDs.
fun. That's gonna be one of. I think it's gonna be my first gun I'm gonna try to get because it's just a meme. I mean, who? I mean, come on, it's the Macarena.
And then have you seen the healing animations where I think in one of them you smoked a
Yeah,
cigar and then you burned it on your forearm and then you like wrapped it around. I think that was pretty cool. A little a little too much for a healing animation because what happens if you're doing that and you're getting shot at? Obviously, unless you can cancel that animation really quick and switch back to your guns. The one thing I'm hoping with the game is make the story very long, make it lengthy as Far Cry 5 or a little bit more, and give it future updates. Don't let it just come out and then do like an update or two down the line and then make a spin-off like the New Dawn,
yeah,
was it called? No, the one where after the nuke dropped, it was like a brand new game. Yeah, I'm not usually a fan of that. The only one I really liked was Blood Dragon. Blood Dragon from Far Cry 3 was obviously like one of the best. But I feel like they should just stick to the game and just keep updating that. Well, obviously they're gonna be adding a new spin-off where you play as the villains from Far Cry. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah,
You
the
get to play as the
DLC.
previous villains in Far Cry. Yeah, yeah. That caught my eye. That looks pretty cool. Because who doesn't want to play as Voss? Who doesn't want to play as
Yeah,
the guy from
Pagan
Far Cry
and
4?
Jacob.
Sadly, they won't add. Yeah, sadly they won't add the Far Cry Primal villain. I don't
I
even
don't
know.
even know
I
who the
never
main
played Far
villain
Cry
is.
Primal.
I didn't beat Far Cry Primal, but it was
What?
a good game. Really brutal.
Did they have dinosaurs? Yeah, did they have
No,
dinosaurs in that, or
it's
was it
just
just
caveman.
cavemen?
I don't think there was. Oh, there's no dinosaurs. It was like not modern man era. Well, it was man era because they were able to speak language, but there was no dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only fun part about that game is like you can light spears on fire and chuck it at someone, and when you impale them, they'll start to catch on fire. And I was like, yeah, that's true Far Cry right there. That's just badass as hell.
Yeah. All right. So, final thoughts on Far Cry 6. Do you think this game will do? I think there's a release date. I think it's coming out November to October time. Do you think this will be a game that'll have a lot of people jumping on it immediately, or do you think it'll be a game where a lot of people will wait till Christmas time and wait for like $20 off, ten
I
dollars
think
off
it'll
to
be
get?
a little challenging because I believe when does Battlefield come out? October, right? October 4th.
October mid, yeah, beginning mid,
So
somewhere around that
Far Cry
area.
comes out the same month. I feel like Far Cry may be overshadowed at first. The only people who are gonna play Far Cry are Far Cry fans, right? I feel like it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the game of the year material, but it's gonna do its job. It's gonna be Far Cry, and it's gonna do Far Cry very well. It's gonna do Far Cry as Far Cry should be. Um, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna do very well. I'm not gonna say it's gonna flop, but definitely with Battlefield coming out first, and that's gonna be a heavy month for Far Cry to make a name. I'm not too sure. I would like it to do its. I would like it to do very well, which I think it will be. I can't really like make up a number and say how much would sell. You know.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a cyberpunk issue. Speaking of cyberpunk, it just got put back on the PlayStation
Yes, yes, it
market.
did.
From I think it got took down from January or maybe February, where the game you were not allowed to buy digitally on PlayStation. With them bringing it back on the PlayStation Store, do you think they should have just kept it off, or do you think it was right for them to put it back
I
on?
don't know. I feel like at that point you should have just kept it off. I mean, who was asking to buy Cyberpunk digitally? I mean, really. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
I mean, like I was dumb enough. I wouldn't say I was dumb enough. I I was very convinced to buy it or pre-order it. You're also speaking to a guy who unfortunately did pre-order
I
Fallout
pre-ordered Anthem
76.
and I got the $80
Back.
edition, mind you.
Okay, so that's already right there. You already beat me to. Oh, okay, no. I pre-ordered
Oh,
Avengers, the Marvel
wow.
Avengers game from last year. Yeah. I think I beat you on that one. Oh, speaking of Marvel Avengers, the new Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy game, where you only play a Star Lord, but you get to call in support from the other Guardians. Have you seen
I
any of that
haven't.
yet?
I'm not a big Marvel fan. So I haven't really gotten the chance to go check the trailers out. I bought Marvel Avengers. I didn't really like it, so I'm not too sure if I'm excited for this. I think I'm definitely going to sit back and watch and just wait and see how they handle this one. You know.
Mm-hmm. And one last little story on Marvel Avengers. They came out with an update a few days ago where Square Enix came and did a rollout patch for the game. And now it displays your IP address on the screen. So if you're streaming Marvel Avengers the game, your IP is being shown on the television so people can dox you and who knows, can even come up to your house and be like, dude, you're playing Avengers? Easily get kicked right in the nuts right there for that.
I didn't know that.
Um,
That's kind of scary.
I pretty yeah, it's really scary why they roll this out, and yet they're rolling out new Marvel Avengers costumes from the MCU active game. Well, okay, so I believe that was our last topic to cover. So I believe we are gonna end it right here. We hope everyone came out today and listened to our new podcast, and we hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in next week for another RageOnes podcast, and we'll see you guys there. See ya.
Ciao.